There is a kind of power that doesn't announce itself. It doesn't argue. It doesn't explain. Yet when it's present, people lower their tone. They choose their words more carefully. They hesitate. Most men believe respect is earned by speaking up, by defending themselves, by reacting faster and louder. Stoic power is different. It's built in restraint, in stillness, in the ability to remain unmoved while others reveal themselves. This is not about winning arguments. This is about becoming someone people think twice before challenging. Every interaction has an emotional hierarchy. Someone reacts. Someone controls the pace. The moment you rush to respond, you hand that control away. Silence isn't weakness, it's a test. And most people fail it. 1. Stillness under provocation. Most men give themselves away the moment they are provoked. Their posture shifts, their voice tightens, their need to respond becomes visible, and in that moment, their position drops. Stillness changes the dynamic immediately. No reaction, no defense, no explanation. When you remain still, the other person loses feedback. Their words fall into silence, and silence forces self-awareness. What follows is discomfort, then doubt. You are not ignoring them. You are showing that their attempt to provoke has failed. Stillness communicates one thing clearly. You are not emotionally available to be controlled. And once people sense that, they slow down. They measure their words. Because stillness is not weakness. It is controlled power. 2. Delayed, minimal responses. Most people respond too fast because they feel pressured too. They mistake speed for confidence. They think silence looks weak. It doesn't. Immediate responses signal emotional availability. They tell others, "You have access to me." Delayed, minimal responses do the opposite. They introduce distance. They slow the interaction down. A short reply, given calmly, given without urgency. This removes momentum from disrespect. You're not trying to win the exchange. You're controlling its pace. When people realize they can't pull an instant reaction from you, they become more careful, because access is power, and you decide how much of it others get. 3. Withholding emotional access. Most people speak freely because they feel emotionally safe. Safe to joke, safe to test, safe to cross lines. That safety comes from access. When you stop offering emotional reactions, that access disappears. No irritation, no visible offense, no need to correct or educate, just calm neutrality. This creates distance, and distance creates caution. People become unsure how far they can go. They slow down, they choose their words more carefully. You're not being distant to punish them. You're protecting your internal order. When someone can't read your emotions, they lose leverage. And without leverage, provocation stops being tempting. Because emotional access is a privilege, not a right. 4. Silence. After disrespect. Most people rush to explain after being disrespected. They defend themselves. They ask for understanding. They try to fix the moment. And in doing so, they reward the behavior. Silence does something stronger. When disrespect is met with no reaction, the interaction collapses on itself. There is no argument, no escalation, just absence. That absence reframes the moment as unacceptable, without a single word. You don't correct them, you don't confront them, you remove your presence. Silence becomes a boundary, and boundaries don't need to be announced. They are felt. When people realize disrespect leads to nothing, no emotion, no engagement, no access, they learn to be careful. Because silence, used correctly, is consequence. 5. Leaving without announcement. Most men announce their exits. They warn, they explain, they demand to be understood, and in doing so, they invite negotiation. Quiet exits end the game. When you leave without explanation, there is nothing to argue with, nothing to manipulate, nothing to push against. You don't threaten to leave. You don't justify your decision. You simply remove yourself. That absence lands harder than any confrontation. People replay the moment in their minds, searching for what they crossed. Because you didn't create drama, they can't dismiss it as emotion. Leaving without announcement teaches one lesson clearly. Access to you is conditional, and once that lesson is learned, people think carefully before they ever speak again. Leaving quietly also protects your dignity. No begging, no explaining, no emotional residue. You don't leave to teach a lesson. You leave because alignment is gone. And when someone realizes you walked away without anger or noise, they understand something important. You didn't need them, and that realization is what stays with them longest. You don't silence people by overpowering them. You silence them by removing the reason to test you. Every move you've heard is built on one principle: control. Control over your reactions, control over your presence, control over who gets access to you. Most people talk too much because they fear being misunderstood. Strong men don't. They trust their actions to speak. Stillness, restraint, distance. These are not social tricks, they are standards. When you stop reacting, people feel it. When you stop explaining, they adjust. You don't need to dominate the room. You don't need to raise your voice. Your calm becomes the warning. Your absence becomes the consequence. And over time, people learn something simple. Before they speak to you, they think twice. Because real power doesn't announce itself. It endures. And the more consistent you become with this standard, the less you need to enforce it. People sense it before a word is spoken. They feel it in your presence. That's when silence stops being a tactic and becomes who you are.